Hi, Patrice.
Hi, Shonda.
Okay, we're back. We made about 50 episodes. There, we explored how what you put into your body helps to transform your physical health, your energy, and your entire way of living.
Mm.
But there's one thing we've learned is that true health is more than just clean eating and exercise. It begins in the soul. Your
Yes.
soul is what's guiding your everyday actions. So that's why we're thrilled to announce the launch of our new chapter. These next few episodes will be titled Greater Health, a Journey of the Soul.
Yes. And I'm excited because it's not just a journey for young ladies or more mature ladies, but it's for all of us and in each and every season of life that we're in, that we
Mhm.
want to embrace that season of life and live it to the fullest and be our best selves.
Right, yeah, because I know I wish that I had some guidance
Mm.
in my earlier ages, right?
And
We want to say that every age is good, no matter where we are, right, in life.
yeah.
Every age is good. And the thing that we do not want is to be prematurely aging.
Yeah, it's because we're all going to age, but prematurely aging is a whole different ball game. It's looking older than your chronological age. And why do we need to do, we don't want to do that. And there are ways that we can minimize that.
Let's just say we're talking about God's way of living. That's what we want to incorporate this time around. We don't want to leave God out of our discussions.
But like you said, we want to make sure we include God's way as the best way, because God's creator of everything. All the foods we talked about, and in our bodies, He's the creator of everything. So we want to make sure that we're intentional to talk about how to look to Him so that we can have a greater health.
Yeah, I think something that we need to know is that we can't disobey God's laws forever and get away with it.
Mhm.
So what we want to do is we want to have you think about these 7 items that's on our list. And so there's some reasons for aging faster. There's some things that we do or do not do that cause us to age faster. One of those things, the top thing is too much stress and not living a peaceful lifestyle. There's the word lifestyle again, but what is it based in? It's based in, what our soul is experiencing, I think,
I see why it's at the top of the list, because a lot of times we start accepting stress as the new normal and then wondering why we're not feeling our best.
Mhm.
So I think this guide, this information that we're going to be soaking in will help us to identify what our stressors are, because we are going to have them, but then how are we dealing with them?
And so there are a few other things on the list that, we may have covered before in some other episodes, like the too little exercise. That would be item number 2, not exercising enough. 3, of course, we know a poor diet,
Mm,
right? And I'm sure we touched on sleepless nights, not getting enough sleep.
mm.
So that's our 4th item. Our 5th is not enough water. This all still goes with what we're doing with our body. So we've discussed these things before. And the
We have.
last one, not enough fresh air and sunlight. So those 2 items, 2 to 6, are things that we've touched on before. But I think that, like I said, one, the stress, that's where our soul experiences stress. That's our inner being person. And so 7 is not focusing on prayer and fasting.
I'm excited about diving deeper into the blessings of prayer and fasting, and just what does that mean? What does it mean to be prayerful? And what does it mean to fast? And we're
Mhm.
not going to pretend like we have all the answers. We are going to dive into these topics so that we can each individually pray about how that's going to manifest itself in our lives, our daily lives.
Yeah. We can start praying today. Well, we've been praying about it for sure, but we invite our audience to start praying with us. So I think one thing to note is that these things result in a buildup of toxic waste in our body. All these seven
Mm.
things, if we're not doing them properly, they're creating toxic things that we need to get rid of out of our body. And so by having those toxins in our body, that is what is accelerating the aging process.
That's really good. And I'm excited that we're not only focusing on the toxicity of our bodies, which sometimes that's what we dwell on because we might see it in our face or our stomach or different health challenges, but the toxicity in our minds, what our thought life is about. Just being able to identify when I'm having toxic thoughts. That's number one. And then how do I manage those toxic thoughts? How do I renew my thoughts, replace them with truth?
Right. Yeah.
Got to address some of these things. And it's not, there's no condemnation in this. It's just a matter of first even being real with ourselves, do honest reflection and assessment of where we are right now.
We thought we'd take a little time to reflect on ourselves
Yeah.
or just what we've been through, right? Just what we've been through, what has guided us here. So are there any highlights that you think about, you know?
Wow. Thank you for using that word highlights because I could go real deep, but for time's sake, I won't. But on a higher level, I've been very fortunate overall to have overall good, solid health. But as I matured and as I reflect, I wasn't always at my best health in that I think certain lifestyle habits, or even with me about what I put into my body, what I made a priority and didn't make a priority, it lent itself to me not feeling my best, but not even realizing I wasn't feeling my best. But instead, and I'll just use one example. For example, I gave up dairy maybe in my 30s or late 20s, no, 30s, and I had a young family, two young kids. But at any rate, that's when I realized that I never did have allergies. Like a lot of times people have allergies, but in my case, I would eat a lot of ice cream and pizza. I like cheese a lot. So I used to eat a lot of it. And I would wake up each morning after doing that and feeling stuffy or caught, I call it cotton mouth. But that's just a simple example of how you're not feeling 100% or your best, but you're like, oh, well, that's just how it is. And you start accepting it for your new normal. And then when I started experimenting with not eating the dairy, I realized I did not have a stuffy nose. And that led me to a journey. And then meeting you accelerated my journey because you were going through some actual health challenges that had been identified not just by you, but in the medical profession too. And then learning together with you about your journey, it helped accelerate my own journey into being more intentional about what I ate and what I think about and what I drank.
Okay, yeah. Well, we're going to get a lot of opportunities to share more. And also we're looking forward to hearing from our community and what they are experiencing. Also, I'll just highlight the main thing that started me on my journey to looking. Well, there were a couple of them. The main thing I think was the brain fog. And
Mm,
that word wasn't even really used, or I couldn't like Google it and find it, but I just knew that I would eat, and after I would eat, I would just be so tired and my brain couldn't work anymore. And I liked a functioning brain. I like to do things and, be able to think things through. And I could not think things through. So it got so bad that I would skip eating. I would not eat because I knew it was going to turn into brain fog and everything. I would not eat until we were done with the day, all our errands, all our places we had to be. Then I would eat food, right? That's unfortunate. I mean, I lived a long while back, that way. That was something that I dealt with. So there's many different things that we deal with and we just say, okay, well, this is just a part of life and we just struggle through it. But we're here to say that if you're here with us, hearing this, you don't have to struggle through it.
No, we don't need to, and we want to build a community
Hmm.
to come
Hmm.
alongside one another.
Right. A community to help and to
Yeah,
recognize these patterns that are not good for us.
yeah.
Right. I think we had a list. Do you have that list? We're going to put that list below this video on YouTube for sure. And I think you'll be able to find it on the website. But there's a list that we have about taking an honest look at yourself. Do you
Ah, I
have
have
that
it.
list?
Yes,
And
I
like
do.
maybe can highlight some of those for our listeners?
Yeah. Yes, I'm excited about this, sharing this with our audience. Take an honest look at yourself. And we just have we have numerous check boxes, and you just check off what applies to you. For example, are you happy with what you see when you look in the mirror? Now, be honest, be real with yourselves. Do your eyes appear similar to these? Bloodshot, dull, tired, or swollen, sad, lifeless? Do you have any of these skin issues? And there are some listed here. Is your body not feeling well, not sleeping well, digestion issues, immune system issues? Is your attitude sour? Is your emotional state not good? And have you lost your oomph for life? And for each one of those, it has a little more detail, but you'll just check off which ones apply to you right now.
Yeah, and the goal is that we can start erasing those checks. Like, nope, that doesn't apply to me. Nope, that doesn't
That's
apply to
it.
me. Right?
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what we want to do. So we'll have that little overview for you to look at. So guess what? We have a guide for you. The 7 items that we mentioned that we just went through are 7 steps that are outlined in the book Greater Health God's Way. This
Woo!
book is by Stormie Omartian, but she's the power of the praying
Praying wife,
woman,
mom.
wife, sister, everything, right? But did you know that she had this little book, Greater Health God's Way? And when I came across it, I was just it just spoke to me, really. It just really spoke to me. And so this book is going to be our guide for the upcoming podcasts on this topic.
Very excited about this because
Hmm.
I was not familiar with this book until you gifted it to me. And when I told others about it, they knew all about her other books about praying, but did not know about this book.
God's ways are good. They're the key to life. I'll review that again. We're going to be talking about 7 steps to greater health. So number 1 is peaceful living. Number 2 is pure food. 3, proper exercise. 4, plenty of water. 5, prayer and fasting. 6, periods of fresh air and sunshine. Got to get that vitamin D.
Yeah.
And 7, perfect rest. So I think that's the outline, maybe that the steps are outlined in the book, but they do coincide with the 7 items that we did discuss a little earlier.
I'm excited, and I don't know if I mentioned to you, Shonda, but the first person who reaches out to us and does not have a copy, I'm willing to mail them one because I do have an extra copy already on hand of the
Okay,
book.
great. Okay. And you know what? I found it, I think it's available. Most libraries you can get access to it. So what we're doing in this new series is we're opening up a deeper, more intentional discussion using the incredible wisdom found by Stormy in Greater Health God's Way. This is not a book club, right? It's a community. Okay, so we want to invite you to grab your own copy and follow along as we study these foundations of wellness, one powerful chapter at a time. We'll probably be breaking up those chapters into multiple episodes. But
Mm.
I think the key is here that we're building a community. Guess what? It's not just going to be here on YouTube. We want to invite you, for those who want to get involved, we'll invite you to a private Zoom meeting and we can discuss this.
Yay! I'm excited again. I say I'm excited because I know so many people desiring to be in a healthy community and be encouraged and grow. I know I want to grow. Yay.
Right. And why not? And it's great that we can do this online. And, for those of you who are here in the Houston area, there may be some meetups coming up too. So let's get ready to nourish our body and our soul, right?
Let's get ready. I'm
Let's
ready.
get ready. And we will see you in future episodes as we explore this soulful journey.